Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter placements. Let's get into it. So the first card you have for today, Cancerians, is the Five of Wands. Now Wands is fire energy, Aries, your Sagittarius are the fire elements. 5 is a number of change. Here it's, if you look at the picture, there are two dogs that are, dressed up well. They're trying to balance themselves on wands, on two wands each, and they're fighting over one wand. So 5 is definitely a number of change, but here it's also a number of positive change because there is a sunlight, there's a spark, or a light bulb or something luminous at the center of the wand that these two are competing for. So I do feel that, this is a positive energy out here, Cancerians, for you. Because this is not a, kind of unhealthy or destructive energy. This is healthy discussions, debates, healthy competition that allows you to grow and better yourself or better your, if you're at work, if this is the competition at work, then it's creative ideas coming together and, people having healthy discussions as to which way to go, what is the right thing to do, and all of that. So whether it's at work, whether it's in your creative area, maybe in business, but this creative friction is actually the point where different ideas come together and then finally one idea comes, which could be a mix of all, or it could be the one that is actually good for the situation. So it's a good energy out here for your growth, for the growth of everybody who's involved in this discussion. The only caveat being that there is a lunar eclipse which is happening in the next few days. So that can trigger emotions that can make these conflicts feel bigger and more turbulent than they actually are. Now, if you look at the picture, it's perfect harmony, perfect balance. It's an harmony, I would say it's in perfect balance. So it's like these two opposing forces, they are in perfect balance. And actually, that's the point of the tug of war. Before, in the modern times, it's like a game, but the original idea for the tug of war was not really a game. It was like to create a balance between two opposing energies and forces. So whether this is with your, social group or with whoever you're brainstorming with, the final outcome is going to be way much better than, either of the ideas that have been thrown about or that have been discussed. Now, for some of you, this also could be in regards to, in work or maybe at home, maybe with your partner, maybe this is about distribution of the chores or certain ideas that you have, maybe creative differences. But whatever this is the outcome is going to be better than either of the two ideas. So, and also it's a good time to, it's like you will see some kind of disputes happening around you, or it could be in your life, it could be dispute. You could be disputing things, you could be seeing a lot of disputes around you. You could be in the line of work that deals with a lot of disputes. But the final outcome of disputes is going to be that, there's going to be some form of a truce or some form of an agreement, which is going to serve everybody that is involved in a positive way. So all the bickering and disagreements will actually come to a positive agreement. And, it's just that you don't need to take it too hard or take it too personally. Just know that, it might seem as too serious, but this is not something that you really want to pursue for too long. Because whatever differences or disagreements are there, I feel you should take it as a positive, healthy discussion for growth. It's nothing personal to you. Nobody has anything against you. The next card you have, Cancerians, is the iceberg. And it further says submerged. And that's exactly what the iceberg is. 90% of all the real icebergs are actually submerged. Only the tip is visible to, outside of to the surface. So I feel that, again, this is about only very little is visible on the surface and more is happening behind the scenes. More is happening at the depth or internal level. Things that are not visible or seen from the outside world or to the outside world. So we are speaking of a lot of depth out here Cancerians, which you are very popular for. The fourth house archetypical Cancerian energy is cardinal water. It's a deep sign. It's a deep energy. So I feel that either, and for the most part, this is your energy. You do have a lot of depth. You do have a lot of strength. Crab is your life out there. So you protect yourself. You protect your inner core. And there's a lot of emotional depth to you than you ever reveal to anybody, than you ever show to anybody. Similarly for you, or in a particular situation, or a person that you're dealing with, you need to go more deeper, get to the bottom of things, look for more answers, because things are not visible. Information is not available to you. So you might be judging the wrong thing, judging the wrong people in the wrong way. So there is some kind of a masking going on out here, whether it's you, whether it's your environment, or people around you, they're masking something, whether it's masking the intentions or masking the feelings. Just to keep the ball rolling and keep peace. People do that a lot, they don't see exactly what's going on inside them just because they don't want to disturb the harmony or they don't want to cause that Five of Wands or disagreements, So there could be somebody around you, or this could be you, where you're masking truly what you want to say, what you're feeling, just because you don't want to escalate tensions. So for some of you, this can also be a lot of, your processing that you're trying to do beneath the surface. In your, you already know what's going on, but you're trying to process things, before you announce or before you talk it out to anybody. You want to process. So you want to process things yourself before you say it out loud to anybody. For some of you, this could be that things are happening beneath the surface and nobody has a clue about what's going on. Like, for example, people around you, they might be, somebody around you, or it could be you that's wanting to change a job, but you're doing it all behind the scenes. You've not announced it to the world or to anybody, maybe not even to your family, but you're doing it behind the scenes. So it's something which somebody is doing behind the scenes. Either it's you or it's your environment that, in boardrooms, things happen behind the scenes, behind closed doors that nobody has any private to. So it's that kind of energy. You might be changing up jobs, changing up positions or neighborhoods, or doing things, starting up in projects, but you're not revealing much to the outside world. So it's that, you don't want to disclose things. You just want to work it out, on your own before you announce it to anybody. Now, this can also be your situation. Like, for example, if you're going buying a home, there's a lot of foundation issues with the house that you're trying to buy, which has been, either painted away or, kind of furniture put on top of it or something like that. And, those things have not been made visible to you or not disclosed to you fully. Or it could be something around that. Or maybe someone is, for you, maybe it's people around you or somebody around you, they're trying to work something out in their own private, personal life, and they don't want to disclose that, which is fine, because everybody has their private moments. Nobody wants to announce everything until the final decision is made or until the final outcome is had or something like that, So until they see the results, they don't want to say it out loud. So it's that kind of energy. It could be you that's pursuing creative or other opportunities. You're trying to work things out before you announce to anybody. Now, the only thing is that, when you're, especially with the emotions, because there is ice cold and all of that, so it could be a situation has made you ice cold or is ice cold, or here people are not talking and you have the Five of Wands, there is tension and things like that. So you might feel certain kind of emotional turmoil, and that's something that you, just understand that it's nothing, you don't have to really take it personally. Again, it seems more deep and dangerous than it actually is. So don't take it to heart and see how you can work these things out. And the last card for today, Cancerian, you have the energy of validation. And further, it is the angel number is 1111. Further, it says aligned with highest good, awakening, authentic self, right action, intention, and manifesting. So absolutely, you are manifesting. I think you're working behind the scenes with the iceberg energy. And with the 1111, this is like a synchronicity, a number that you probably are seeing a lot of places, whether in phone numbers or car numbers or over TV and over the plots and things like that. Maybe it's 1111. These are portals. These are initiations, taking it next level. And also a confirmation from the universe and your angels that they are there supporting your intention, supporting your work, confirming that you are on the right path, and then you need to keep doing whatever you are doing. So if this is a business or a creative, a venture or some project that you've taken up, then you're on the right path, you're doing it in the right way. And whatever you're doing, whatever you're building is the right thing. It's perfectly aligned with your soul's path. And especially with the moon eclipse coming up, the lunar eclipse coming up, it's about paying attention to these gut feelings, to your intuition, which is going to be super heightened, especially moon being your ruler, Cancerian. So extra attention towards these synchronicities, because these will serve as your internal compass. These will confirm that you're on the right path. So if you've been asking yourself some questions and you see these relative numbers, then that's a confirmation that what you're thinking is right or what you're expecting is right and things like that. It's going to be different. Whatever is in your mind, it's going to be different for each of you, Cancerians. So the point here is you don't need to wait for others to approve of your idea or your results and things like that. If you know in your hierophants that what you're doing is right and the results are according to, what you need to see at this point in time, maybe just trusting the universe that you are at the right time and the right place, itself is a validation, self-validation. So just trust the process and know that, when you see these confirmations from your angels, it's a green sign for you to keep doing whatever you're doing. So Cancerians, read Energica, those were your messages, and hope they resonated with you. Now moving on to the sign of Scorpio. So the first card you have for today, Scorpio, is the King of Cups, and it's in the reverse for you. Now, you are a water element, so it's perfectly befitting your energy out here. King is the highest expression, when it comes to the water suit. In the reverse, I feel that there is, something, because the King of Cups has as an emotional balance, is can survive the turbulence around, emotional turbulence, doesn't get impacted by the environmental chaos and things like that. But I feel that for you in the reverse, something is bothering you. There is something that you're holding back. Maybe you're feeling a certain type of way and you're not able to let it out or express it to somebody or someone. Or maybe you're just feeling a certain type of way because of the environment or a certain situation around you. And you're not able to express that out to someone. So I do feel that maybe you're kind of pretending like, oh, I'm okay, but inner core is kind of going through a little bit of a, mood shift or kind of emotional up and down a little bit, and especially because we're almost hitting the lunar eclipse in the next few days. So that also will stir up emotions. So just be mindful of that. You might feel like, things are not working according to what you had wanted, or maybe you're feeling hurt about something, or maybe it's a situation you're feeling a little bit kind of awkward about. Could be anything, like, maybe your partner is not listening to you, or maybe they're busy, they don't have time for you, and things like that. So it could be a gazillion reasons why your emotions could stir up, and it's going to be different for each one of you. So whatever it is, whatever is your reason, I feel that you need to actually name that reason down. So try to see what's bothering you. Try to see what's why are you irritated, or why are you snapping, or why are you in a little bit of a reversed mood right now? So once you put that thing on paper, then the solution becomes much easier, because if it's a vague thing like, I don't know why I'm feeling that, you will never be able to fix the problem. So I do feel that, write it down, and once you write it down, talk it out. The moment you talk it out, the burden will be released. Get the help that you need, whether it's through your trusted friends, family, or a professional help that is going to help you calm your emotions down, calm your nerves down. Or if you want to ground your energies, going out for a walk, barefoot in the grass, sitting out by the trees or hugging the trees, people say, or just being in the backyard in the presence of trees, or actually bringing in some kind of plant home and creating a Zen corner and spending a few minutes just meditating, or with some incenses, that calm the nerves down, also has benefiting effects, especially in the, reversed kind of energy over here. So, and if you have to say something, if you want to let it out, if this is just because you're bottling your emotions up, then the good idea is to just say it out, and just talk it out to whatever the situation is, whether it's to your family, to your partner, to your colleague, express it out, say it out, whether it's to in your families, to your parents, whatever that is. If this is something that you've been bottling up and that's what's triggering some emotions, then the obvious thing would be to just let it out. I mean, this is not the time where you want to just bottle up just because to keep peace. I feel it's going to bother you way much more if you don't let it out, if you don't speak up. Now, these emotions can also be stored up in a gazillion other ways. Like it could be that you're changing your jobs and you're getting a little emotion because you're, attached to your old company, or it could be you're changing neighborhoods, or you're changing cities, or it could be anything going on in your personal front, some changes. Maybe you're leaving college and you have to part with your friends, whatever that is, and that's making you a little bit moody, So if you want to cry it out, but this crying will definitely release that pent up tension and, the heaviness in your heart space. So I let it out in whichever way, whether through talking or whether through crying, or whether even if you can self-medicate by, walking outside, like I mentioned, or doing things that, bring joy to you, whether it's cooking or whether it's listening to some music or watching some shows. But that will be just kind of therapeutic healing that could even lead to, like burying under the rug. So let it out and feel lighter. The next card you have, Scorpio, is the Meadow. And it further says vulnerability, which means opening up. And that's what this Meadow is on about, open fields. There's no boundaries, there's no fork, there's no walls, nothing. It's just an open ground where these beautiful sunflowers are growing. So sunflowers is a very positive energy. It's a very open energy. So I do feel that, there is a nudge out here from the universe for you to open up, because with the King of Cups in the reverse, you're holding things back, inside of your heart, your mind. You're not speaking up, you're not expressing your emotions or what you need to say. And I feel this energy of Meadow is encouraging you to say it out loud. But don't overshare right at once, because otherwise you're going to feel overly exposed. And that might lead to resentments and regrets later on. So why you pick the right person to choose to went out, make sure you're not spilling everything all at once, to not overwhelm people, and also to not. Now, for those of you that feel awkward sharing with your nears and dears, you can always, consult professional help. But this energy is definitely encouraging you to be more open about your story, what's going on, not to just fake it out, but I'm okay. That's not what you need to do right now. You need to be a little bit more open about what's going on, what's bothering you, what's working, what's not working. Ask for help if you need to. There is no need, there's no reason for you to just handle everything all alone. And the last card you have for today, Scorpio, is a message from the angels. Angel number 4040. It's a very powerful number of solid foundations. Further, it says divine love. You are always loved. Look for the love in your life. Further, it says angels are supporting you. So Scorpio, you're fully supported. You might be feeling a little, your mood upside down. You might be feeling a little bit emotional right now. But look at this angel in the picture, her folded hands and still so much peace on her face. It's just, folded hands is nothing but faith and surrender and trust, that the universe, your angels are out there loving on you, supporting you. You might feel a certain type of way that, I don't have the right support, or people don't appreciate me or love me. That could be nothing could be far from truth. So, I do feel that if you are having such thoughts coming to your mind, that's the first thing you need to drop. You are loved, deeply loved by your angels, by the universe, by the people that are around. You're being supported. You have the support. People may not, it may not appear that way. People may not express it openly and say things that you want to hear or see, or express themselves in the way that you want to see that love, but the love is there. And while you're handling this little bit of an emotional up and down, don't forget to love and on yourself. So take care of yourself. Go for frequent walks. That will really uplift your mood. Connect with friends, with family more. Share a little bit more. Laugh a little bit more, and take care of yourself. And that itself will shift the energy of the King of Cups in the reverse for you. So Scorpio, those were your messages, and hope they resonated with you. Now moving on to the sign of Pisces. So the first card you have for today, Pisces, is the Seven of Wands. Now, Wands is fire energy. Aries, your Sagittarius are the fire elements. 7 is a very divine, a secret number of contemplation, of assessment, and also of aligning yourself with your soul's purpose, your soul's will. Now, in the upright, 7 of Wands carries a defensive energy, like you're trying to stand your ground, protect your ideas, protect your ground, your word, your ideas and things like that, or your family, whatever it is, whatever that you're trying to defend. Maybe your stance, or maybe a reason, or it's going to be different for each one of you, Pisces. But here in the reverse, it's a positive energy, which means that you're giving up on that defensive attitude or energy. It's like you're like tired of defending. You're tired of fighting battles, and you're like, you know what? I don't want to be in these petty situations. And actually, it's a good thing. It's a good energy, because it speaks to how it speaks to your wisening up. You realizing what your energy and your time is worth. It's not worth the pettiness. It's not worth the fights. So I do feel that, and especially with the lunar eclipse happening in your sign, it's kind of a lot of things changing out here for you, Pisces. It's like a reset button, especially the eclipse energy is like a reset button, where we are closing some chapters, and starting new ones. So I do feel that if you were in a situation which was, full of disagreements and debates and people saying one thing or the other, and a lot of conflict and chaos around you, I feel that you are just, you're like, no, this is not what I want to be. This is not the situation that I was, that I imagined for myself. And you're like, no, I don't want to prove anything. I don't want to prove my point. I'm just going to walk out of this chaos, and I'm going to take a break. So I do feel that your energy is shifting from being an active participant to just walking away from chaos, from arguments, from any kind of attention, any kind of discussions that cause tension. So it's like you want peace, and you will do anything to defend your peace, I feel now. Instead of defending your word or your stance, now you want to defend your peace. You're like, it's not worth fighting every battle. You're going to pick and choose what exactly is important to you, and the rest you will let it slide. So I feel that you're measuring your words, you're measuring how much time and energy and what toll this kind of energy takes on you, your mind, your body, and you're choosing to not engage into that. So it's a good thing, to be very selective about where you engage and the situation you engage with. So it's not a weakness, giving up and walking away is by no means weak. It's actually a sign of strength and wisdom. So you have spiritually risen, you have risen up, and I feel that you're not participating in anything that is draining on you and your resources. The next card you have, Pisces, is the ocean, and it says ebb and flow, which means the ups and downs, the cycle, the up and down cycle, the nature cycle. Nothing is permanent, just like these tides, that are, of course, that are driven by the moon cycles, right? Full moon and new moon, the tides are different. So just like these tides, one moment they're in on the shore and the second they're out in the ocean. So that's what life is all about, ups and downs. And one day we feel good, the other day we don't. One day we're happy, the other day we're sad. So this is how life is. And I feel that you shouldn't be feeling bad about this, so I do feel that. And also with the lunar eclipse coming up, Pisces, you will be impacted because you being a water sign and, mutable water sign. So, and it's in your sign, the lunar eclipse. So it definitely is going to impact you, your emotions. All you need to do at this point in time is find that grounding through either spending time outside in the nature or doing some meditation or doing things that you really like. Even taking care of yourself is going to be really important, like self-care is going to be the highest priority, should be the highest priority, especially during the eclipse time, where you look after yourself, your health, your emotional health, your mental health, your physical health, and get that support system, have people around you, do the fun things, in order to get by these ups and downs, that emotional stores that you might be feeling at this point in time. So don't get over anxious because you're feeling these kind of ways. It's okay. Don't force yourself to, don't force yourself to do things that you don't want to do. Overwork. Don't always be thinking about goals and schedules and productivity and all of that. I feel that if you're slowing it down, if you're piecing it out, if you're taking a break, taking a vacation, or staying back at home and doing things that make you feel good is going to be something which is really beneficial to you. You can always, get back to your work and work extra hours and, get productive that ways. But right now, if you feel down and low, then taking care of yourself, your health, and all of that is going to be priority. Now, when it comes to ebb and flow, this can be situations external to you, whether it's your company, your team, the way they behave, or the profits, or how your company is doing, or your business, how it's doing. It could be anything, because everything in this world just has their own cycles, I feel. Sometimes it's good, sometimes bad. Even the market, financial market or portfolios that we create, and the stocks and all of that, they have their ups and downs, those graphs. Now, if this is in regards to your health, we are feeling up and down, then of course getting the right amount of rest and medical help or consultation and taking care of your physical health, mental health, spiritual, all of that is going to be really important. And the last card for today, Pisces, you have is a angel number 1212, and it says, the time is right. Such a beautiful picture out here, blue hues and shades of blue, so much appropriate to your water energy. Below, it says, time is right. Plans come to fruition. Spirit guidance in the moment. Act now. Stay in the flow. So yeah, staying in the flow is going to be very important. Act now. So if there is something that you have been thinking about, and if you have been, having something in your mind, whether you want to start something, change up something, you don't need to overthink, overanalyze, because there is there's a green light from the angels out here. So the opportunity is here, the timing is right, the energy is favorable for whatever you want to do. If there's stalled plans, you can move ahead with that. So like I said, the eclipse right now, the lunar eclipse in your sign Pisces is going to be a reset button for you. So things are definitely going to shift, whether it's in your career, friend, personal life, or it's your own personality development, upskilling, whatever that is. you need to put in the effort in that right direction. Spirit is going to be supporting you, guiding you every step of the way. So don't live in the past, don't live in the future. What's going to come of it? How are things going to play out? How are they going to work out? Is not something for us to be analyzing and thinking and overthinking, not to the point that you miss out this window of opportunity. So don't think about what it's going to be, how it's going to be. I think you just need to, with whatever you have, with whatever plan you have, whatever resources you have, just move forward with it. Don't keep second guessing, because otherwise you'll miss out on this window. So put in the work, act, take the decision, and there is no reason for you to wait around anymore. I feel that's the energy over here. So I seize those for your messages and hope they resonated with you. So thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.